Right, we're on day 4 of the lockdown. Pretty much might as well count as day 5 actually, because Wednesday wasn't much of a get out and do stuff day. Cafes have been closed from basically Wednesday anyway, so if I count it based on cafes being open, this is day 5. Discovered, while we're talking about cafes, discovered that I've saved quite a bit of money by not going out to cafes. I'm quite shocked at how much money I've spent on coffee during the week normally. But I've been working my way through doing a few phone interviews with different people. I've done 2 MPs so far. Hoping to interview the mayor later on this week. Depends on how busy she is with keeping council going, etc, etc. But she did say she was interested in the idea, and I hope to possibly interview 1 or 2 councillors and stuff like that, just to see how things are going with them, and how they're dealing with this, and if they've got any idea, any things they'd like to mention about the whole lockdown thing we're dealing with. I've instigated a few things, like I often have lunch outside so that parents wandering past with their kids out for a bit of exercise and on the street can have their kids wave and say hello as they walk past, which is quite safe. They're at the footpath. I'm down the driveway a bit. Yeah, and I think every now and again someone across the road comes out and has a cup of coffee and we'll wave at each other across the road. And I think a lot of this is not just keeping your own spirits up, but contributing to keeping everyone else's spirits up, and keeping things interesting and lively. And my challenge to photographers is photograph what there is around your home to make interesting photographs, amusing photographs, maybe add a bit of humour, this sort of thing. There's a whole lot of things that you can do with photography around your home, from photographing the birds on your lawn, which the birds around here are starting to get used to me sitting outside. They don't disappear as soon as I walk out now. Right through to tabletop photography, and even just doing humorous photographs of yourself. I've done a few amusing selfies, and I'll probably do a few more photographs over the next few weeks. How much of this is contributing to avoiding doing a lot of stuff around here that I should really be doing is a whole different issue. But I'm sort of leaving the things I have to do as a sort of a last resort, I think. There's a lot of tidying up I should be doing that I'm putting off until I get really bored. Then I'll probably get stuck into that. But yeah, I'll probably do a video like this every now and again when I feel like it, or whatever. I think people need to focus on the positive sides of things, turn it into something more positive. You don't have to be negative about this whole lockdown. Find ways to make it interesting, make it more or less like a holiday of sorts. Yes, there's some people that still have to go to work, and a lot of people have got worries about income and things like that. But I think if you spend the next 4 weeks worrying about these things that you can't fix, you're wasting time and energy. Acknowledge that these things are things that are a concern to you, but don't spend the next 4 weeks dwelling on them. Focus on more positive things if you can. Things like if you do have to go to the supermarket, thank the workers, say thanks to them for being out there. They're taking a massive risk, even with all the protective gear. Supermarket workers and shelf stockers have discovered how important they actually are. and they're far more important than anyone probably thought they were. But thank them for doing it, because it is a hectic job. That's not just the risk factor, it's the fact that they're having to work bloody hard to do what they're doing, partly because people are panic buying, so they're having to stock shelves like crazy. Then there's the medical profession, and that includes vets, but in particular the human medical profession, who are at an even greater risk to deal with not just the ordinary things they deal with, but now they're dealing with people who are concerned that they might have the virus, needing testing, etc., right through to the people who actually have it in the hospitals, who are getting some pretty intensive care. And that's stressful for them and their families. They're working pretty long hours, and I think we need to recognise and appreciate that. I'm by myself. I don't have actually anyone around here, so that's probably why I'm doing this, because I don't have anyone around here to interact. So every interaction I do is by phone or by video. So yeah, so you'll probably see a bit of this, and the crazier I become from the lockdown, probably the more frequent these videos will become. But yeah, anyway, it's a nice sunny day outside. It's time I started thinking about what I was going to have for lunch, because I do my regular sit outside and have lunch, and I'm endeavouring to do that regardless of what the weather is like. So even if it gets a bit cold and rainy, I'll be sitting outside under my porch having lunch and waving at people as they go by, and trying not to go out past my gate any more than I absolutely have to. I think people need to take this a lot more seriously than some have, because we don't want this to go longer than 4 weeks. But it all depends on how seriously we actually take it. So be safe, stay away from people, and look forward to when this is over.